Hello and welcome to the Oklahoma Hiker YouTube channel. Today I am doing one of my absolute favorite Oklahoma hikes. This is on the Ouachita Trail, specifically in section 2 of the trail. I have parked at the Big Cedar Trailhead off of Highway 259, and I am going to head west about 6 miles, skirting the side of Simmons Mountain, going up Rough Mountain, and then finally going up Winding Stair Mountain and 32 switchbacks of absolute torture. They aren't so bad on the way down. Now, up at the top, it's one of my favorite vistas along the Oklahoma portion of the Ouachita Trail. So I'm really excited to see it again, and I can't wait to show you. Come along. Less than a half mile in, we already have a very pretty creekside campsite here. I've never stayed, but one of these days. We have ahead of us a feature that is pretty typical of the Ouachita Trail in Oklahoma. This is a rock glacier, and we have lots of them to cross, especially in section 1 of the Ouachita Trail, which is a bit further west. Let's see this one. All right, so down the hill and up the hill. Kinda neat. The sun is trying to come out, which is fine with me, because it was really rainy this morning, but it is making it very moist. A very sweaty me has made it to Red Spring, which is about 2 miles in from Highway 259. This is a seasonal spring, and it's really red, so hence the name. Let's see it. Looks tasty, doesn't it? I've actually had it. It's not too bad, but still. At just over 2 miles, we have a nice campsite. It does have a very overfilled fire pit or fire ring, but plenty of spaces for a tent or some hammocks. With the campsite behind me, we are headed up the side of Rough Mountain. This side is not so difficult. It's a rather gentle incline. The other side, though, is a bit heftier whenever we descend. And of course, once we get to the saddle, between this and, Winding Stair Mountain, it gets a little tougher. There's Winding Stair. Heading up that one next. I am excited because we are almost to the place where I'm going to take my next break. This is a campsite. It's at the saddle between Rough Mountain and Winding Stair Mountain. I've never stayed there before, but it looks like a really nice spot, minus the fact that there's no water. I have rested, I have refueled, and now it's time to do the 32 switchbacks up Winding Stair Mountain. I have made it to the top of the switchbacks. I'm exhausted, and it's raining just a little bit, so I'm gonna make good time to the shelter. It's not far, and definitely rest for a little while. But first, I've got to get there, and there's a beautiful vista between here and there, so depending on the weather, may have to show you that too. We'll see. I have made it to the vista, and for a little bit of perspective, this mountain right here, that is Rough Mountain, where we came from. And then the mountain behind it that's kind of getting shrouded, that is Simmons Mountain, which is the one that we kind of started at and skirted around. So that's a bit of perspective. In this direction, behind me, we have the shelter. And that is where I'm going to head and take a little bit of a break, have some lunch, and definitely get some water in me. I have reached the summit. And the shelter is right over here. Now, I know there are some other people over here because I just ran into them. So I will not do a whole lot of talking here, but I'll show it to you. I actually have the shelter all to myself now, so I'm going to give you a little tour. Look at this. All the Ouachita shelters are amazing. I'm going to flip this camera around and give you a better view. So we've got a nice picnic table, which I have strewn with my stuff, as hiker trash does. And, of course, the shelter itself. We've got two little places to sit here on each side. Places for cooking, setting things, and of course, luxurious accommodations with my cell phone charger in view, and cool little sign-in sheet, which I take advantage of. Now, what is this business? No, Don't ride on it. This isn't yours. Ugh. Oh, it's been a glorious stay at the shelter. I do, though, think it's time to head back down the mountain. So, let's get back to that trek. Starting to get some rain and definitely hear the thunder getting closer again. So, headed out. It has been raining quite a while now. I'm almost all the way down Rough Mountain, and I have to say, I think walking in the rain has been actually like my favorite part of the hike because it's not so hot. It's really cooled me down. So I'm getting close to the campsite that was like 2 miles in, and I'm not going to stop this time. I'm just going to keep going. But getting close. The rain's died down a little bit. The thunder has gone further off too, so that is really nice.
Well, I think I jinxed myself because the rest of the hike was an absolute deluge. Thunder and lightning were popping everywhere. I'll leave you with these views of the vista in other seasons during other hikes. It's always a gorgeous place to see, and I definitely encourage you to get out there and check it out for yourself.